What do you want? If I could give you a magic wand, and with one wave of that wand, you could have anything that you want, what would it be? Wealth, long life, vacation to Honolulu? That's what this journey to the mountain is going to be about, is about figuring out our want. In a few days, we're going to be at Har Sinai, at the mountain. You know, our holy books teach us that Jewish holidays, they're not memorial days. We're not celebrating the receiving of the Torah that happened thousands of years ago. We're actually receiving it again. We have an opportunity. The same energy is in the air. The same download occurs every year at this time. That means in just a few days, we have the opportunity to receive the biggest wisdom that the Jewish people, that the world has ever received. And it probably behooves us, as we prepare for such a big day, to figure out what's the prerequisite to receiving that wisdom. We know from all our years of education that if you want higher level wisdom, you have to take a certain number of credits and get a certain number of requirements out of the way. So what's going to be the prerequisite for wisdom? So the answer lies, I think, in studying how the Torah describes wise people. The Torah says God calls the wise people that are in the desert, who are the ones who step up to do the temple, to do the Mishkan. He calls them Chacham Lev. And the verse says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God says, Belev kol Chacham Lev natati Chachma. In the heart of all those who are Chacham Lev, who are wise-hearted, I gave wisdom. So we have a couple of questions now, right? First of all, what's Chacham Lev? What does it mean to be wise-hearted? Just say wise. And secondly, I don't get it. In the wise-hearted people, God says, I gave wisdom. So make up your mind. If they're wise-hearted, then what exactly did God give them? And if God gave them wisdom, then why did they need to be wise-hearted? So that dilemma is actually solved by studying Shlomo Melech, King Solomon. In the book of Malachim, there's the ultimate ask. God turns to Shlomo Melech, to King Solomon, who's known as the wise, who is known to us now as the wisest person, and he says, Ma tein lecha, what should I give you? HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts in King Solomon's hand and asks, whatever you want, just tell me. Just tell me, Solomon. Just tell me, Shlomo, and you'll get it. And, of course, it's recorded what he says. God says, you didn't ask me for wealth. You didn't ask me for long life. You asked me for what? For a mind and a heart to understand the intricacies of life, to be able to distinguish between what's right and what's wrong, to understand this world on a plane of understanding that no other human could have access to. That's what you asked for, wisdom? Now I'm going to give it to you. And of course, King Solomon became the wisest man. We see from that what the prerequisite for wisdom is. It's not studying a lot. It's not amassing a lot of information. It's not running around and trying to pick up whatever we can from Wikipedia. It's very simple. It's simple, but it's hard. It's wanting it. It's wanting that wisdom. God said to King Solomon, he said, I see that you have a craving with your heart, with your body. This is what you want in life. I'm going to give it to you. And that's how it works now. For all time, how it works is if I really want it, then I get it. And that's the awesomeness of Shavuos. You know, we have a question, why are we up? There's a Jewish nationwide custom to stay up all night learning. Now, if this is the holiday of receiving wisdom and learning wisdom and studying wisdom, what would you think? You would think that, well, let's spend the whole day, get a good night's sleep, 8 hours, 9 hours, right? Wake up and learn all day. Stop for a good, brisket, but then get back to learning. Instead, we stay up all night with bloodshot eyes, go to pray in the morning, and then go take a nap. Doesn't make sense. But now it does. Because the holiday, to get wisdom, I have to want it. I have to emotionally, with my heart, desire it. That's what we're doing all night. We all remember the all-nighters from college. It was about finishing a test. This and studying and cramming in. Or we all remember the all-nighters before work deadlines. The all-nighter before Shavuos is not to get something done. It's to generate that excitement of an all-nighter of, I really love this. I love learning. I want this. This is something I want. That's the energy of an all-nighter. That's what's going to help me get the want. And then I walk into the morning and I receive because I fulfilled my prerequisite. I was traveling to the States on one of my highlights of my year, the 2-week Meor trips that I get to take, where I get to go around from campus to campus and visit students. I spend from morning until night speaking with students and learning with students. And then in the night, I get the chance to teach students on campus. And I arrived in the JFK airport and I stood on line, and there were all these plasma screens, all these flat screens everywhere that try to bide your time while you're waiting for the passport officials to take you. And so I remember it was March and there was March Madness in the air. So on all the plasma screens were these quick montages of the most incredible highlights of the week of March Madness. You had hook shots and you had around the back shots and under your leg shots. And we're all standing there watching these plasma screens of this just incredible collage of exciting moments. And at that moment, a thought entered my head. Of course, it's enjoyable to watch these basketball shots, got nothing against it. But I said to myself, what would it look like if we had a montage of the greatest ideas of the week, the greatest novel insights, paradigm shifts of the week, of the year, of the century, and you just boom, 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 just one incredible piece of wisdom after the other, the hook shot, the through the legs wisdom, right after. And I said to myself, you know what that would look like? That would look like a world wanting wisdom. We make montages about what we want. If we had montages about wisdom, that would mean, wow, we crave this, we want this. And then that would mean a Jewish people and a world that would probably be in a different place. And that's what Shavuos is trying to help us achieve. It's not so much about how much wisdom we get, it's about what's my connection to it. The same way I love a piece of steak, or I really want that hammock with the ice cold cola in my hand, or I really enjoy that incredible, thrilling motorcycle ride through the mountains. Think about things that we want with our heart, with our body, this type of bodily and emotional drive, that kind of wanting. So can I get that behind wisdom, behind Torah? It's not the same taste as a steak. It's not the same taste as an ice cold cola, but it's its own taste, and there's nothing like it. And I think anyone who's involved in more at any level, from one conversation with a rabbi to the high level advanced learning in the study halls, everybody knows what it feels like, that ice cold glass of wisdom. Everybody knows that feeling of, wow, what an insight I just got. What a paradigm shift I just received from that conversation. Oh, from learning that text, I can change my life. And then I go and I do that. That feeling of insight, of novella, of breakthrough, that comes only from the holy Torah wisdom that we were blessed with. That's the difference between Torah wisdom and the wisdom everywhere else. It has to be preceded by emotion, by a drive, by a desire, by a want. That's what we learn from King Solomon. That's why, of course, we're the Chacham Lev, the wise-hearted. You have to have the wisdom of the heart, which means an emotional connection to the wisdom. On that, God says, Natati lechem, I gave you Chachma. I gave you wisdom. You have the desire for it. You have the emotion. You get it. That's, as we march to the mountain, what we have to focus on. And God willing, we're going to get to that mountain in a few days. And if we really want it, we really want and appreciate the power of our Jewish tradition and what it can do to enhance our lives and change our lives, then on that Shavuos morning, we can ask, please give it to me in a way I've never had it before. And then our lives change for the better. Wishing everybody a Chag Sameach, a happy Shavuos.